What's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy Air Chucks, and we're back with another banging video today. Bandai as shit as a company y'all have been and are with Sparkingzero. Y'all try it. With this new DLC Neo, y'all definitely try. I will give y'all flowers. In this video, we're gonna be talking about should you buy the new DLC that just dropped, Sparkingzero Limit Breaking Neo. We'll talk about the pros, the cons, what I loved about the game, what I hated about the game, and my overall thoughts so far with the game and patch as a whole. Real quick, I wanted to show y'all that your boy has hit Z rank with my main. I am the true Trunks in this game. But yeah, now I was able to hit Z rank with him. It didn't really take too much. Now, all the degenerates and the niggas that be using items and just doing the most in the ranks, you cannot hit Z rank for Trunks. I just wanted to be the first at least to hit it. So it's right there. Also, I went out and I watched a brand new day Spider-Man film yesterday. I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit y'all. When I tell you that movie is top 3 Spider-Man films of all time, honestly it's number 2. It's only behind Spider-Man 2 in my opinion. That shit was fire. It's definitely in my top 10. It's around that 6 to 10 range superhero movies of all time. Let me know your personal takes on that movie. And also let me know where you would rank it, not only within the Spider-Man films and just superhero movies in general. But that's enough for me chatting. Let me not just, I could ramble on and on about superheroes. So let's get into the video. First off, let me just give y'all my overall rating of the patch / DLC. It's a 7.5. It's not a weak 7.5. It's a strong 7.5. And I wouldn't be mad if someone gave it an 8, and I also probably wouldn't be mad if someone gave it a 7 or 6.5. Now 6.5 I think is a little stretch with the DLC and patch combined, but overall I definitely do think it's a good DLC / patch. Let's just get the cons out the way right now, guys. Starting off with rank. Now I kind of wish that they rebooted rank where you use a weaker character and you could probably get, like, let's say double the points. I personally think that would have been perfect for rank because it's now incentivizing players to use weaker characters and not just, you know, flock to the meta because they want to like grind ranked or they want to hit top 100 or certain spots within the leaderboards. That will give more of a diversity when you go on these PvP type of modes. I've talked to my dog Don, and with this I will call this a con, but I'm also going to talk about this later on in the video. Tracking. It is sus at times. I will admit that tracking is definitely sus at times. I can understand when people get mad, especially when it's a game decision type of moment where you might catch someone's back, pause, and you know, you just phase right through your opponent. So those are the times where I could say like tracking is definitely, it's trash. Like tracking could definitely be better. Next, we're gonna talk about net / your internet. Listen, man, Bandai, I don't know what it would take for y'all to do this. I don't know why you would do it in Bleach and you'll do it in the Storm games, but not in Sparkingzero. I personally would like to see the opponent that I'm about to play. I don't want to just go into a random match having the close app because I might see a username and I'm like, I've heard about this guy's internet before. I don't want to do all that. I want to be able to see my opponent that I'm about to face. And then on top of that, I want to be able to see this is their internet speed, or this is the connection. It's like a yellow bar, it may be red or it's green. So I can decline or accept. I hate that feeling of, okay, opponent found, and now I'm sitting there just wondering, okay, who is this? And then the match starts. Now the fucking shit is cooked. My opponent is just ping-ponging me around like I'm watching a tennis match, being forced to just take free damage for no reason. Now, optimization within the game, listen, some of these characters, bro, some, not all the characters, but just some characters feel like they weren't properly synced to the game, or their transformations feel lackluster or weak. Prime example, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. When you transform from Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan 4, the transformation just feels very lackluster. Like it feels quick. It doesn't feel as impactful. It doesn't feel like, oh shit, I'm going into Super Saiyan 4. Compared to, like, let's say Bardock, that felt like they took some time and actually thought, let's make this transformation hold weight. Like, oh, he's transforming into Super Saiyan. I feel like with the time that they have for 2 years, we could at least made the characters that do have transformations feel a little bit more impactful. That's just me like nitpicking. Also, the animations of supers, I'm not really too much of a fan of them. Again, weak, lackluster, especially with Super 17. His supers within Budokai Tenkaichi 3, it felt like it belonged. It felt deadly, if that makes sense. And this, it just feels very passive, weak. Like, why use it? It just feels out of place. And I know some people get on my neck when I bring up BT3, but I really want people to understand the love that they put and the time that they put within that game. You can see it just off the small things when it comes to just grabs. In this new DLC, the grabs, they all feel the same. They're pretty much all the same. I'm just keeping it a buck with y'all. Again, lackluster. That might be the word of the day, lackluster. Whereas like BT3, the grabs felt impactful. With the journey mode, I do love the journey mode, I'm be honest with y'all, but one con that I'll say is that as much as you're grinding and ranking up your character and they're getting stronger, I would have loved for them to have its own separate rank for that mode. I personally felt like they kind of dropped the ball when it came to having a specific rank mode, because clearly majority of the players that still play this game till today, they love rank. So give players that option of not only having something to grind for, so I need to grind this mode to maximize my character's capabilities, but not only that, I can take this character now onto ranked, and now I'm seeing progress within the boards. That would be fire to me, because it's now bringing in two different modes together, so it's working in tandem with each other. I think that's how you make your game live longer, like have longevity. Because this is not a game where I hate when people bring up Xenoverse 2 and try and compare it to Sparkingzero, or they try and bring up Xenoverse 2 Steam charts. It's a low-hanging fruit argument. Let me say it like that. It's a very low-hanging fruit argument, because Xenoverse 2, yes, it's a 10-year-old game, but they continuously drop content for that game. And they've been updating that game with DLCs throughout the years. So that debate or argument that people bring in for Xenoverse 2, like look at the stats for that and compare it to Sparkingzero, it's very flawed, bro, because Sparkingzero is not that type of game. So I think if Bandai and the creators of Sparkingzero were able to not only have the journey mode, but then put a specific rank mode for that journey mode, now you can have some form of longevity within this game. The biggest thing that was a flop for me with this DLC or patch was not adding rewards for characters and episodes. This is something that I really thought about when we're talking about extending the game's longevity, comparing it to Xenoverse. Having content that will aid in this game being played, I think if they would have added a way where if you get Beerus to this amount of points, or if you've played Beerus this amount of times, you've now unlocked an episode for Beerus. Or maybe in Journey, if you use Beerus for a certain period of time and you got Beerus to, let's say, level 150, you unlocked his episodes. So now you can go into episodes and play Beerus' story. That would be fire in my personal opinion. That's something where I'm now getting rewarded for grinding this game, or I'm now getting rewarded for playing this game instead of just receiving fucking titles and Zenny. These are contents that I think would have been perfect when it comes to longevity for this game. As much as I do love the new combat system within Sparkingzero, and I feel like the game takes somewhat of skill now compared to what it was in the past, Sparkingzero at the end of the day is more of like a knowledge check type of game. Even with that being said, and as much as neutral is now a focus with this new patch, super counters, my brother, are too OP in this game. Too many get out of jail free cards with super counters makes winning neutral at times useless. Storm, as much as I'm not a fan of like substitutions, I think Storm, with limiting the amount of get out of jail free cards that you have within that game, I think they did a beautiful job with that. Even like the Bleach game giving you only like 2 options, it can get annoying, and with no rewards or no added bonus for me going through this, it could make the casual gamer feel like, what's the point of me playing this mode, you know? Or what's the point of me going through this type of madness? Getting these characters, again, it does feel like a breath of fresh air. It feels like there's something new within this game. Like I can feel that. Again, to just copy and paste skills after image strike, explosive wave, wild sense, instant spark, false courage, it feels weak. Like a prime example of them being creative with skills is Beast Gohan. When you use wild sense with Beast Gohan, when someone activates it, he gets a buff in his attack power, right? Or even Bardock having an explosive wave that goes into instant spark. Having that as a skill or adding that to these new DLC characters would have been fire. Like I would have loved to see that with more characters in the game. For example, I don't want to make this character even more OP or broken than he already is, right? But Super 17, I feel like with Android Barrier, it would have been cool to add a feature where you use Android Barrier and it absorbs your opponent's super and it might give you some health back. That would be fire. It doesn't even have to be crazy health back, but just half a bar of health back would be kind of tough in my opinion. Or some key back with half a bar of health. Another idea, maybe he pops Android Barrier, and as he pops Android Barrier and he absorbs the blast, now he gets a buff. He gets like 6 stocks on attack, right? Or maybe 6 stocks on defense for 8 to 10 seconds. Again, make the skill points a little bit higher than what a normal Android Barrier is. So instead of a regular Android Barrier being 2, make it 3. I think those are things that would make the game fun, bro. And the last con, $34 cash.
What more do you want from me?
Especially if you paid $110 for this game. They scammed us. For me, I'm a content creator, so of course I'm gonna get the DLC, I'm gonna get the game just to give y'all content and, you know, review it for y'all. But I think for the casual gamer, even someone that doesn't consider themselves a casual, for you to pay $116 and then on top of that to pay $34 for this, gotcha, bitch. Bandai, that was some shit. If you were to ask me how much do I think this DLC should have been, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I don't think this DLC should have been worth $34. And I also don't think this DLC should have been free. This is a lot of content that they're giving us, new modes. I understand some people might say this mode was already in the game and they just never released it to us. Fairs. Even if you look at the characters, some people might say, oh, well, some of these characters we should have been got. Fairs. Some of these maps we should have got. Fairs. Me looking at it from a company's mindset, no way in hell will I be giving y'all this game for free. I could justify the DLC being worth a dub. That's valid in my personal opinion. Maximum $25. I know, and I'm just trying to give y'all an objective opinion. Like subjectively, would I've liked the DLC to be free? For sure. I would have loved for the DLC to be free. But if I'm gonna be objective and not biased, no. But that's all the cons for me within this latest DLC / patch that we received in the game. Let's get into the pros. First off, the maps. The maps look amazing. As much as I thought that I'll be running to a lot of laggy people, surprisingly, on these maps, it's not that laggy. That ass, it's not that laggy. I love how there's not too much stuff going on in these maps. It feels like an open arena where you can just, you know, box it out compared to like the other maps that we have in the game. Like it just felt like there was a lot of shit going on with them. Next, the fits, 10 out of 10. I love that depending on what fit you wear, you can have a new super or ult. Tough. I do wish Bandai gave every character an alternative type of fit, like how they did in BT3. There were some characters, for example, like Majin Vegeta, he never wore black, but just giving him an alternative is fire. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the white hair.
Because I was talking, like I said, I was talking to my dog Chucks. He was glazing. He was like, oh, bro, it feel like a fighting game now.
In the beginning of Sparkingzero, when it first released and before you even received this DLC, Don himself, other people were complaining about how much sidesteps are spammable. I used to really hate that shit. Like there was times that you could literally turn your brain off and just sidestep. Bro, that's not how fighting games normally operate. Even if we're talking about an arena fighting game, an anime arena fighting game, Bleach doesn't operate like that. Fucking Naruto doesn't operate like that. JJK doesn't operate like that. My Hero doesn't operate like that. You can sidestep, bro, but you have to time your sidesteps in those games. This is the first game that I've played. I could deadass turn my brain off and just fucking sidestep, and I'm gonna have frames that's gonna let me get away from getting punished for it. That's trash. That's trash. I love that they corrected that on this patch. I love it. I'm gonna be honest with you. His opponent starts a sidestep. Don has not moved yet. So if Don does any attack animation, it should connect. Look real closely, guys. The sidestep is done. And that's what happens. I don't see the issue with that. But
look at this, y'all. This is,
you hear what he's saying. Or in this situation, Don starts the sidestep. His opponent does a step in. He doesn't activate an attack yet. That's the thing. His opponent has not activated an attack yet. They're just both stepping. That's it. Don's character is done and is out of the intangible frame, and this is what happens. He gets leg sweep. I don't see the issue with that personally and stuff. Now, right here is where it's a problem. When you're attacking your opponent and phasing through them, that is a problem when it comes to tracking. That one I can agree on, and that's what I talked about earlier in the cons. Look real close. That's crazy. He's hitting air.
light smash.
He's a sidestep lord, bro. He's a sidestep lord. You have to time your sidesteps now. You can't just turn your brain off or do a combo or you punch vanish and just think, oh yeah, I'm about to sidestep. No, because you're going to get punished for it. The input is going to be registered in your opponent's character and it's going to track you. So you can't just throw a sidestep. Shout out to my dog Unison. There are times that I'm sidestepping and he's sidestepping, but because we're timing it perfectly, we're not getting caught. For me personally, like, that's where I disagree with, oh, tracking's trash within this game. This clip right here of me playing my dog Carl, somehow he phases through my perception and I still get hit. These are things that I could sit here and say, okay, cool, buggy, or they need to fix that or correct that. And it's not even like a lot of people. I talked to my dog Fraud, I've talked to Benji, I've talked to a lot of people, bro. The majority of those players, they play the game consistently, but I've even talked to like Eli, and that's someone that doesn't play the game like as much as he used to. And his first day back on the game, he says he likes it. It feels smooth. I think now where this game is going, you can't waste movements. Like, there's not too much wasted movements. And if you are one of those people that waste movements, you're going to get punished. Like, you have to know when to retreat. You have to know when to sidestep. You have to know when to elevate, etc., bro. Like, it's not something that you could just turn your brain off and, oh, let me just press this because I know that I'm not gonna get hit because of the frames. Nah, like, you actually have to time certain things now within this game, and I love it, bro. Now, with that being said, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all. You can mash your way to a win, but it won't get you far. I'll be honest with y'all. Once you start playing like higher level players, that mashing is going to get you more L's than wins. If me saying the game feels more like a fighting game, or if some people can't understand that take, then I'm gonna just say that the game feels more like a Dragon Ball game, bro. Or like, I feel like I'm in the show Dragon Ball. Like, we're throwing hands. It's a mashy type of anime. It's a lot of punches going on, and that is the whole purpose of the Tenkaichi series, is to give you that lore accurate feel of Dragon Ball. Are there certain ways that they can make it better? For sure. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. I'm not sitting here and saying it's perfect, but compared to what I had to deal with before, night and day. Shout out my dog Kaiser Omega, top flight security. If you know, you know. But I know he hates the boost option add-on. It does damn near like 25 to 30k damage, and it could possibly be spammable. I get it, bro. I get it. Trust and believe. I understand people like that's concerns and complaints about this add-on being in the game, but let me just warn people right now. This is one of the same reasons why Sparkingzero, when it first released, it died so fast. Like, it's not the main reason, but it's one of the reasons why the game died so fast. Too many people were complaining about damage or sparking that the devs went and patched it. I understand that there are some people out there that have selective hearing. I'm not saying that we didn't need a patch, but what I'm trying to convey to y'all is the community didn't give itself enough time. Whether that is skill-wise or knowledge-wise, the community was just too fast to just complain. Oh my goodness, this needs to be taken out the game. Oh my goodness, they need to slow this down. Prime example, the Spirit Bomb, certain ults, they are so slow, bro, to the point that, oh shit, this person just leg sweep me. I still have enough time to recover and dash out the way. Some of those complaints were just too rushed. I'll just say it like that. Some of the complaints were just too rushed. Y'all just didn't give it time. But for my cheesers out there that are watching this video, I'm not a cheeser. You can now cheese to your heart's content, because the boost is a game changer. I'm not gonna lie. I do like that. So shout out to Bandai for somewhat trying to bridge that gap between casuals and comp, or people that just play the game daily. Character identity. I fuck with how characters have certain things special to them. Voila, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, where if you send a beam or a super directed towards him, he can now parry it but back to you, and now it does damage to your opponent. That is fire to me, bro. Some characters getting boosts when their health is depleted, like Bardock, Vegeta, certain Saiyans, Rose Goku. You get ki boosts from certain characters. You get attack boosts from certain characters. I don't think you get defensive boosts, but still, these are all things that are bringing back character identity and making players at least have somewhat of an incentive of, oh, I actually do like that addition to that specific character. Maybe I want to use him in rank. These are things that I just feel like were needed in the game, and I can sit here confidently, not too confidently, but somewhat confidently, and say I can see this being added more within the game in the future. Those are pretty much all my pros about this game. This is a solid game, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Do I think Sparkingzero's back?
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
I'm not about to sit here and have an unrealistic take of, oh, I think the game should have 10,000 players, or I think the game should have 6,000 players. I think within that 3,000 to 5,000 range, or maybe 3,000 to 4,000 range.
Perfect. Everything.
That's a solid player base for this game. Even after, let's say, a few months go by, I think having 2,000 players within this game, 2,000 to 3,000 players, that is beautiful for this particular game and what it is. Do I think the DLC is worth buying? It depends on who you are. I'll say yes and no. I feel like if you're someone that consistently plays this game even through the driest periods of this game, I think that the DLC is definitely worth buying. If you are a Dragon Ball fan, like you just love everything Dragon Ball and you want to have like lore accurate fights, or you know, you want to progress your character and build them and grow them in skill and power, I think this DLC is worth buying. If you're someone that's dropped this game and you play it periodically, like let's say once every 4 months, or you don't even really think about the game like that, would I sit here and tell you to buy the DLC? Fuck no. For $34? Fuck no. If your John can buy you this game, or your shorty, cool. If your moms, your pops can buy you this game, cool. But you as a person, no. If you're one of those type of people that I just explained, I wouldn't buy the game. Like, I wouldn't waste $34 buying this game. As much as Bandai has tried, still wouldn't buy it, bro. If you're someone that doesn't really play the game as much. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for me. Let me know in the comment section below. Have you bought the DLC? Do you plan on buying the DLC? If you have bought the DLC, what's your experience been? Do you give me your pros, give me your cons? I love hearing everyone's takes. And y'all know me, bro. I'm a debater. Like, I like hearing what people got to say and, you know, just talking back and forth type shit. So if you comment below, I make sure to react to or respond to every single comment out there. If I don't, I apologize. I'll do better. But again, guys, like the video, comment, and as always, guys, subscribe. It's been your boy Eric Chucks. I'm signing off. Peace.